This is a tool chest or a trunk that my wife and I are restoring. It had already been stripped when we got it, and I decided to beef it up with strap hinges and stuff like that. These are the old hinges, and they was all bent up in their hinges, so I decided to take them off. On the front of the old chest, the key had been lost years ago, and they had makeshift locking mechanism right there, eye, screw, and some small hinges. And this discoloration there is where they the holes were, and I filled them up with wood putty. The locking mechanism is right there. It's on the inside of the trunk, and the top part is two pieces sticking up that's got holes in there where the slides through and locks the trunk down. You can see the keyhole there. It's recessed inside the side of the trunk, and so I decided to go ahead and make a lock for this, make a key for this. This is a picture of the inside of the trunk where the locking lock goes in, and this is the on the trunk, the lid. You can see the pieces there, the two pieces sticking up where the slides go through. This is a picture of the lock, and of course it's recessed in there like this, and it's held in there for four small screws. The trunk, we decided to leave the paint marks in there because the wood is real soft and everything, and it had been almost impossible to get it out. So we just sanded it and then applied a finish on it. These strap hinges are they've got forged welded eyes, and they go on top, and I got square holes for mounting, and I use a carriage bolt and I cut them off the right length where I wouldn't have many threads on the back side of the nut going through the trunk lid, so it won't be catching on nothing. And the top, using the carriage bolts makes it look like big rivets on there, and with the square holes in there and the square shoulder on the carriage bolts, it enables me to tighten the nut up without the head of the carriage bolt turning. I had a problem here on the edge of the offset here, and so I didn't want nothing bend down like this, so I used channel stock, and I angled them, and so I mount on there. I made it wider for both sides, so because this wood is so soft, I didn't want the wood splitting. I didn't want nothing sticking on the inside, on the side of the trunk, because there's a tray eventually be going down in there. The cover plate has got two tabs that's peened over, and I didn't want to take that off because I didn't think I had enough material to peen it back over. So I had to figure out how the locking mechanism inside was working. I've made several locks, and I had a basic principle of how they work and everything. I'm going to try to get you a picture of the keyway there. It's got a angle right there like a V, and it catches on each side of this round thing that goes around the covers outside of the lock. The inside of the lock has got a raised thing. The key has got to have a notch in there for it to fit down in there. The pin there, it's going through, and it's peen on the back side. It's got a shoulder on there like a 10, and it's peen. And this is the inside of the lock, and the ward, I'll show you in a minute how they slide. To find out basically how this works, the spring is on the top side because what I did, I pushed up on this slide right here, and it takes quite a bit of tension to get up over that V where it'll slide in. So, you know, not all locks are made the same. This is the first key I made to figure out exactly how the tumbler worked. This one here is the second key I made. Trial and error, trying to get it better. They both work, but not real good. This one here is the last one I made. It works real good. I got it fitting pretty good. It's got a hole inside the stock. This is 1/4 by 5/8 stock, I think. You drill a hole and then you cut this keyway right there, that part there. Then you got to get it fitting inside the lock. Of course, this has got to be forged out now, but all this was done, actually it was done with air tool, electric. First key I had to push up on this to relieve the spring for it to work, and it did work. It opened, it made the light slide, but it wasn't closing. When I went over like this, it wasn't closing, but I still had to press up on the spring so you can see how loose it is. It's not the full length it should be. This second one, it worked okay. It's better, but still not quite as good. It opened it and shut it, and it fits pretty good, as you can see. This one here, same way. But it's hard to do it because of the keyway is a little bit short in there. And on these here, you know, keyway, you want to smooth that out a little bit. I don't know exactly how this mechanism works inside because it's a bar in there and it's split in there, and one of these is on the top part and the other one is on the bottom part, but it angles down like this and then back up. Not all locks are made the same. You can kind of see that bottom, the key, it's a half moon shape down in there, and that's got to be, allows this part right there, that recess right there, to go down in there, and then this part and this part goes all the way down in there. If you're just starting out and doing locks and stuff, this is a good book. It's got a example of a cupboard lock, a trunk lock, a door lock, and a gate lock, and it gives you basic principles. Even though this book had a trunk lock in there, this lock here is not made the same as the one in this book, but it is a good book to start out with. Spruce Forge Manual of Locksmithing. It helps you quite a bit. Now when I do finish this, I'll have a next tape will show the trunk finished sometime when I got time. Now remember, this key has got to be, the forge out is too big. It won't go in the recess of the countersink hole in the wood. The reason I cut this bevel here is so I could get heating this up and forging it out, so I'm getting it thinner. I could cut it all the way length of that and then have the eye down here, but I'm going to go ahead and try to forge it. This will be kind of tricky because I don't want to break this part off. All this work involved. This was cut with a Dremel tool. A lot of times they'd use a lot of files and stuff like that, but it's hard enough doing it with a Dremel tool to get it just right, not knowing how the lock works and everything. I made several different kinds of locks. I made the threads and everything for them, left-handed, right-handed, and everything. But this is the first time I've worked with a lock, not knowing how the key, not having a key. When you make a lock, you make the whole thing, you make the key and the lock and everything, and it makes it a little bit easier. But not knowing and not being able to take something apart, well, I could have took it apart, but I didn't, because of the, like I told you, the pinion of these two tabs. I didn't think I had enough material left, and I didn't want to mess this up. And it's hard telling how long this key had been lost and everything, and you know, they just kept on going. Now my wife seen these a chest like this on eBay, and it was called a Cooper's chest. I don't know what kind of chest this was, whether it was for the household or for a carpenter, but there's a lot of nicks and scratches and holes and everything else in here, and the evidence showing it had several coats of paint in there. So, you know, I just don't know, but it was fun working on it, and my wife's going to enjoy it when I get it done. On my follow-up video, hopefully I'll forge the key out, and I'm going to make a couple trunk handles for each end of the trunk chest, or whatever you want to call it. Thank you for watching.